Where's the bang bang, Preston? Come on.
I can't breathe.
Pub Sports Radio. Come find us at Southtown 101. Subscribe on YouTube and all platforms where podcasts are found.
Welcome to Pub Sports Radio, NCAA Net Profit. I'm Conor Mack. He's Maxwell Smart. It is Friday, January 14th. And I got to know how you're feeling today, Max. How are we doing? How was last night? I got a little sneak peek, but let everybody know.
Yeah, last night, bro, I was fucking with my eyes open. It was a fantastic night for me personally, and at the end of the day, that's number one. You know, I gotta fucking make quota before the season ends so that I can play softball for 6 nights a week. I think that when we look at that card last night, definitely some really interesting results. I do think that there were a lot of players that stood out in the spotlight that hadn't before. And we see that players coming off their COVID layoff have definitely performed quite admirably in their return to the lineup. So something to be aware of going forward.
Definitely. Let me go through some of my games. We'll hit some of the scores. Good, bad, interject. Just let me know. Then we'll get to your line movements. North Texas barely got it done. That game stayed under, too. In that game. Oakland won. It didn't get over. Those are leans I had on the show. I had small bets on those. And Loyola San Francisco. Hey, now. Way off. So, yeah. Wasn't playing the same basketball that showed up 3 weeks ago, that showed up last night. So that one straight, in the face. But other than that, it was good for me as well, Max. I had Portland, like I was talking about, big. I was big on the over in the Denver game. We mentioned a few others.
Denver first half, Connor, that's got to be a play going forward, whether they're on the road or at home.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I just keep riding it over full game. Let's touch some of these scores. These were Gonzaga took care of BYU. I'm glad I just stayed away from that game. Might be different next time in Provo. But this game was ugly with no fans there, Max. It looked like 2 years ago, whatever. That game at Pauley Pavilion, it looked like UCLA could be beat. It just looked so quiet, just seeing nobody in that gym again. Oregon beat them, in OT there. Even SC had a tough time with Oregon State. They ended up winning by 10, not covering. So some of these Pac-12 teams, I'd be leery of betting on them until there's fans back in there. Arizona did take care of business, though, 76-55. Wisconsin won big. That was one me and you both kind of liked, Max. I think we thought they'd cover. Texas Tech won. DePaul, that was while we were on the show yesterday. Took care of business. Lehigh beat Bucknell. That's some of the games we'll talk about that you talked about, Max, as your games yesterday. Man, just Lehigh took it to them in that game. Oakland, we mentioned that. Good win there. Louisiana Tech beat Southern Miss. VMI, Mercer, great call. Over, Max. Over all the way. Mercer still doesn't play much defense, but, man, these both teams could score. And that thing was way over, 97, 91. Colgate took care of Navy. Colgate looking a little better after a little rough patch.
Yeah. Hold on, Connor. All right. Fuck Colgate.
Tee it up.
Keegan Records had a career game. That's what the difference was. Listen, Navy definitely didn't play their best, but when you can't stop the big man inside having a career game, yeah, you're going to end up losing. I look forward to the next matchup that they play against each other, and I will 100% be back on Navy again. I just probably won't live bet them as much because that definitely burned me.
True. Old Dominion took care of business. We wondered if they could cover the 11. They did in that one. Citadel got it done. Beat Greensboro. Good game by them. 74-69.
What a comeback. What a comeback, Connor. Yeah. 17 points down, and they come back and win.
Yeah, I know.
Citadel.
Scream it. This was one that I kind of was big, and I forgot if we touched on because it was Texas State. I thought they were laying the light there last night, Max, only 8. I thought that probably could have been double digits, and man, they took care of business. 80-56 there.
That was a sore spot for me aside from the first half.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was a sore spot.
I had Texas State. That was the rare times I've took Texas State this year because some spots. But I thought 8 was cheap there a little bit, even though Monroe had played better a little bit lately. South Dakota State beat Omaha. And Iowa took care of Indiana. Just beat them by 9. Covered that game, just slipped over as well. Full game over. So that was good. South Alabama took care of business. They won by 9, covered easy. You got 1, maybe 2.
It wasn't easy. Let's not say that because they
but in the end, final score
of that game.
Yeah, final score. I mean, 1 by 9 points.
Yeah,
I'm just meant.
I just have to correct you on that, Connor. I watch these games. I lose.
I know you do. Hey,
I'm getting gray hairs, bro. I'm getting gray hairs.
I'm already there, brother. I'm way past you, bro. I'm fucking way gone. UC Riverside, Cal Poly, under even at that low total. Man, these teams ugly to watch. Sometimes score. St. Mary's, that game just slipped over. I mentioned they might get 80. Pepperdine 60, right around that number, 77-62.
I thought it was a 139 game.
Yeah, well, I saw 138.5. So some people got
I saw it in the
bit.
140s at points in the day.
Yeah, I saw 138.5, 139. It depends where you got it, I guess, because I never saw it at 140. Maybe it did. I don't know. I don't know why I remember 138 so vividly yesterday. Portland, big one for us, Max. They almost won it, but they definitely covered. That's where I had most of my money on that game, but good one.
They fucked up because they weren't able to keep to avoid fouling, and once you get into the bonus in that situation, it's gonna freaking make you a little softer on the perimeter, and that's where Portland got done in. I think that San Diego definitely came out and played a tale of two halves, and I think that it was still the right play on the money line, even though it lost.
True. And that's about it for that. Long Beach State did beat Santa Barbara, and Hawaii came through late night. Max,
I didn't even bet on that game. I
didn't either. And there's times Hawaii at home early on, they've looked better lately. If you did them, I think now they're 2-0 in conference. They won the last few. They've looked better. They hit a bunch of shots. Well, I was watching that game. Yeah, they were hot.
Coleman hit shots.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. But hey, they got it done. That's enough points for them. Shout out to the chat. Best chat in the goddamn game. It's Friday, baby. We are here. Not a huge card. We have a massive one tomorrow. Saturdays are huge, Max. So, but very good stuff to kind of pick and choose from today. You talked about how it's going to be a great live betting card for you. Before we hit the chat, let's get to your line movement just real quick because we have a short card. Give us some of the line moves from last night to today's side and total.
Yeah, so we'll start off with the 6 o'clock game. We've seen Buffalo go from a 6.5 point favorite as high as 7.5, and we've seen it just really bounce in between there. The total did go up as high as 165 this morning. That's back down to 162 across the board. I think that with Ball State, you just need a awkward 5 minutes of scoring that isn't at 4 points a minute. And that total in the first half seems very cashable when it comes to the first half under. I think that when we look at the Monmouth game, that's the game that we've seen the most line movement that's mattered to me. I think that when you saw Monmouth open as a 5 point favorite, the assumption was that they were going to become a 6.5 to 7 point favorite if Walker, Miller, and George Pappas were ruled into the lineup. Right now, that hasn't happened. I do think that this line will fluctuate when the news comes out, confirming them out or in. And as far as the total, this total started and opened at 133.5, has gone as high as 135.5 or 136. So definitely some lack of precision when it comes to the odds makers being in agreement. And depending on what number you have for this game, there is a lot of potential value out there. When we look at the Sienna Marist game, we have seen Sienna now become a 4.5 point underdog where they opened at 6. This Sienna team now has a solidified lineup, and on the road, they have been a lot more offensively potent than they have been at home. And against Marist, you are definitely going to need that. So interesting line move there. One of the bigger moves, and definitely an interesting move considering the location and the situation, is that Quinnipiac opened against Riders a 2.5 point underdog, and they are now a pick'em or a 1 point favorite. So that's an interesting move there. Aside from that, there really hasn't been a significant line move aside from the game I'm going to talk about next, and that's Davidson and Richmond. We saw this total open up at 143, go all the way up to 147, and now is back down to 145, 146, a lot of different variation of that line. I think that it's an unsure market, and with Davidson's road performances, they're going to probably be able to keep up their end of the scoring. It's Richmond that we have to question. And aside from that, Conor, just the Michigan game, we've seen them open up as an 8 point dog. Now they're 9.5 or 10 point dog. So definitely some love for Illinois, and it may be a smash spot for Illinois, having 4 out of their next 6 games at home.
Yeah, we'll get to that game, but laying a 10 spot, man, they could easily cover it. We'll see what this Michigan team's made out of a little bit. They've had some time to sit around, too. They haven't played a game in a while. So we'll see how they come out, Juwan Howard and them. All right, Max, before we get to the games, we got to give a shout-out to the best goddamn chat in the goddamn game. As I would say every goddamn day. Polly Walnuts, Sean Murphy, Sammy Colmer, Andrew, Sean Murphy, Rara, Murray, what's up, man? Bill McDonald, C. James, what's up? Clayton Smith, 19. UNLV, 94. Shout out to UNLV. MMA Locker Room, Chris, Aubrey, Rodney Barton, Canes Nation, Big Show. Shout out to Big Show on the 1s and 2s, always in the back. Appreciate it. Nilo, guy. What's up, Nilo? Groovy Caps. Loco Shiz, what's up, my man? Colton, how you doing, brother? Groovy Caps, what's up? He's putting his whole paycheck on Davidson today. There you go. Hit up Strip Club. What up? Crystal Warren. Addy Daddy. What up, what up? All right. Max, let's get to the games. It's Friday. Aren't you jacked or what, son? Are you on mute?
I'm jacked and I'm on mute, bro. I'm not even lifting weights. I'm ready to go. I'm fucking with my eyes open. It's Friday. There's a huge fucking massive slate tomorrow, so I want to just slide into this one like I would slide in between a Lady of the Night's legs, and I want to have a good time for 3 minutes.
Yes, let's get to it. First one up. This game tips off here in about 40 minutes. Buffalo, Ball State. Buffalo's favored by 6.5. Obviously high total with these two. 162, but they've amazed me, Max. It could still get there even at this high total. Do you have anything in this one? Is Ball State with the points interesting to you?
Sorry, I keep on going on mute. I think that I like Ball State with the points because I think Peyton Sparks, the 6'9", 240-pound big man, makes such a big difference for this team. What does Buffalo like to do? They like to play that bully ball with Jonathan Williams and Josh Mballa back in the lineup, and Josh Mballa healthy. You know, they can really crash the glass, create those opportunities, or at least create a lot of open space for Keyshawn Bruin and Maceo Jack to hit some threes. With Ball State, though, the cupboard isn't bare when it comes to their offense. They can really score down low with Tyler Cochran in the isolation game. And then with Luke Bumblau, this is a kid that definitely has taken over this offense. He is definitely a dangerous outlier type score. And with Buffalo in a game like this, I don't think that they want to really go up and down. I think that obviously we have seen a fair share of overs in these matchups. I just think tonight this is a spot that we do find a way under. It is a 4-point pace per minute game, and the first half under with a little bit of a slump to start the game for both teams would help you. And I'm looking first half under in this game, and I'm looking at the dog.
Yeah, I'm staying away from the total there. But Ball State, like, there's sevens out there too. I'm just reading off the book here, but there's sevens out there. So if you like Ball State, grab a 7. All right, next one, Max. This one's almost in an hour here. Nebraska, Purdue, big game here. We've seen Purdue not been the same team. I think it was reading earlier today, their last 8 being double-digit favorites. They're 1-7. They're laying 20 here. I mean, just seems a shitload of points. Nebraska plays 0 defense at times. I don't know how Purdue doesn't score 90 here. Nebraska get to 70. I think this game gets over, and I'd also lean with the points. I mean, Purdue could cover. They could. I mean, Nebraska has gotten smashed at spots, but 20's tempting. What do you think here?
Yeah, I think that 20 is tempting. Nebraska has been able to put together some really nice performances spread-wise in this number range. And with Purdue, definitely fast starts are key to their success. While they haven't been able to maintain leads, they have been able to get out to that double-digit lead. And that's what they're going to need to do against Nebraska tonight. At 11.5 in the first half, it's a little rich for me, but it's right on the number. So no play there. I do think that with both these teams and how good they've been from beyond the arc, if that's going to continue tonight, we are going to see 18 to 23 combined 3-point makes, and that's definitely going to help the full game over. But more importantly, I think it helps us get off to a good start and get the first half over. We need to see this bench, and especially Brandon Newman, start to produce for Purdue. I think that they have definitely good continuity with their point guard big men tandems. You have freaking Isaiah Thompson, really good continuity and chemistry with Zach Edey, and then you have freaking Jaden Ivey that is going to have very good chemistry, and Eric Hunter with Trevion Williams. I think at the end of the day, Purdue has to move the ball around, get that good ball facilitation, crash the offensive glass, and limit their turnovers, which they've done a good job of. I think that Purdue definitely leads the offensive attack in the first half. Not sure if I want to lay 11.5 with them, but I definitely like the first half over.
Yeah, it's like what Nebraska team, the team that lost, they got their ass whipped by Michigan and Auburn, but then lately on the roads played better, lost by 12 to Michigan State, just lost by 10 to Illinois. That was at home. No, they could lose by 30 or they could lose by 12. It's not an easy one there. That's why the number's 20. All right, let's get to the next one here. Monmouth, St. Peter's. This is a good game, Max. I thought here. Monmouth, good basketball team, though. But now laying points on the road, not easy. Just like you talked about, it's down to 4 right in that area. Total's right around 134.5. Anything here?
Yeah, listen, this is one of the games that resemble the UC Santa Barbara game, but Monmouth is possibly going to be missing George Pappas and Walker Miller. If both those guys are confirmed in the game, Monmouth is definitely the play. Monmouth may still be the play regardless, with Shavar Reynolds being able to give you a 30-point plus performance. The issue with St. Peter's has definitely been offense consistency, and having small guards and some poor free throw shooting has hurt them in games. I think that when you look at this spot, it is under City to me. I think that St. Peter's is going to struggle to get to 65 in this game, and Monmouth can definitely play some under basketball. Definitely, we've seen them do it at bigger numbers, but if they have a shorter roster tonight and a shorter rotation, I do think that they do lean and rely heavily on their defensive skill, which is definitely top half in the conference. So For me, it's full game under, and
Yeah.
just gonna ride it out from there.
That's me here. If I had to play in this game, for me is the full game under. I don't know if St. Peter's can get to 60. Small in this team, his defense has been pretty good, Max, like you talked about. And they still can score at times, but like you talked about, their totals are always so high. And this team's gone under, I think, 9 of the last 10, Monmouth. But those are with really high totals, of course. Now we're dropping down in the 135 range. I don't know if it can get over, especially if those guys are out. All right, next one, Max. Manhattan, Iona. Big number here. Iona's laying 15. I'm interested in Manhattan a little bit. Totals 146. What do you like here?
Well, before we get to this game, I just want to ask you a question, Connor.
Go ahead. Shoot.
Where's Nikki? Where is
He should
Nikki
be here.
Fish Tanks? I want Nikki Fish Tanks to make a fucking appearance today.
I know.
Yes, we're all looking forward to Nikki. Hopefully, he will show up by the end of the show, and he will show us how fucking a true fucking Floridian drinks goddamn Miller Lite.
Best in the game. Nikki Fish Tanks with Miller Lights.
Yes. All right. So getting back to basketball, Manhattan and Iona is a real interesting matchup because Manhattan is just so much more competent offensively than they were in the past couple years. With Jose Perez and Anthony Nelson running this offense, they both can go off from three. They're both very good drivers to either side, and they're not going to get muscled around by big guards. I think that Manhattan, the one thing that's playing against them is the fact that they've been off since December 21st. But like we've seen with a lot of teams coming off the COVID break, they've come out ready to play hungry and putting up big points. This is a Manhattan team that went over in 6 or 7 straight games before their COVID layoff. And we're talking about going over the closing line by 20 plus points in some of these games. So there definitely is value to me betting an over with Manhattan and Iona in this game. And with Iona, they're no slouch on offense. They have a very strong, heavy front court with Nelly Jr. Joseph up front and Joyner and Tyson Jolly in the backcourt. Experienced D1 high major experience is better, and I just think that Iona is going to be able and have to put a whooping on these boys, and that means scoring points. I don't think that 15 points is I think that it's too big of a number to lay with Iona. We've seen them in this situation before against less stout offensive teams. I think that Manhattan has good value as a first half dog and full game, frankly.
I'm right with you, Max. This is the highest total it will be for Manhattan, but after their first game with Fordham, they've gone over every single game. Lower totals there, but some of these scores are really high. We know Iona could score a ton. But I lean the points with Manhattan. If you gave me the free bet here, I'd take the points and I'd only look over in this spot. It is a bit high, but you're paying a bit of a premium. Shout out to everyone in the chat. I got to do that. Hit the like button. That's all we ask. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. If you can, go retweet our shit. Go ahead.
Connor.
Tell them.
Well, I ask a whole lot more. Support local strippers, to not dip your wonderful Popeyes, Cane's, Chick-fil-A chicken tenders in honey mustard. Dip your KFC shit in that. Like, come on, bro. Come
on. Ripping KFC. KFC's gone, isn't the same, but have you ever been to a few Popeyes?
I go to a fantastic
chicken good.
Fantastic Popeyes. They give me big tenders. They give me extra honey packets, and they don't try to charge me 35 cents for another one.
That's a good one.
That's Maxwell smart.
Yeah, because I've seen a few shitty ones in my day. Let's get to the next game here, Max. Sienna, Marist, another good game. I like Marist all year. Now, they're laying numbers here in this 5-6 range. Totals 130. You like Sienna with the points? Marist, what do you think?
Yeah, listen, I think that Marist definitely has a good shot of winning the game. I think that the biggest issue for Marist, though, is who they're going to have available outside Ricardo Wright and Raheem Sullivan, my two favorite players on this team. They do have a really sick freaking young guard in Yao Ikwa, and he is definitely going to be missed.
Great work.
In this lineup.
Sorry, cut you off. Great work on the pronouns there. Butte.
I may have worked on it.
You did.
I think that with him, he's a guy that averages 13 points a game, and he's a guy that has consistently given you that third scoring option and has worked his way into the lineup. Yes, he has some turnover issues, but he has a concussion, and I'm just not sure that he plays. If he plays tonight, that's the difference for Marist, and that makes them a 4.5 point favorite with value. But if they don't have him, this is a Sienna team, that produces a lot more scoring output on the road. That's going to be Marist's biggest task on the defensive end. And I just think that with this Sienna team, Colby Rogers and Nick Hopkins are very important in the backcourt, but you have to stop Jackson Stormo. The big man provides rebounding, rim protection, scoring down low. He's the difference maker. If you stop him, then you can keep Sienna down. If not, Sienna may be a freaking outright winner today. So I'm not going to have my money on them on the money line full game, but I'd definitely be interested in taking Sienna first half money line.
All righty, excellent. Let's get to this one. I wonder what you have here. Quinnipiac versus Rider. Rider's laying 1. High total here, 147.5. I didn't have any play here, and maybe Rider, but I don't love it. What do you think?
Yeah, listen, I'm riding with Rider. I think that this line would have been a better move if Rider was on the road. I think that Rider, while they did start the conference season with losses to Marist and Iona, they have already avenged one of those losses, and I do think that they are on the rise. Listen, they are very good inside the arc defending team. They do close out very good on jump shooters. The problem has always been, can they hit jump shots on the other end? They do have the talent on paper. The problem is their key reserve in Cedric Altman just hasn't been able to give you that scoring from the 3-point line, shooting under 20%. But if they don't get into foul trouble, Algeria Ogmeno Johnson is definitely a stout center in the middle. He can give you some good rim protection. You got experience slashing guard forwards that can interchange positions and really give your opponent a lot of different looks. The only problem with this is Quinnipiac is one of the deepest scoring teams in the conference. Rider's going to have to get this game into the 150s to win it. And with Quinnipiac having Matt Belong back alongside McGuire and Lewis Courtwright, those are 3 guys off the bench that can give you 20-plus points in a game. So very dangerous game to take an under in. And I think that Rider is going to be up to the challenge because of how physical and how there's a lack of 3-point urgency. They want to go to the rim and get to the free throw line. I like it.
Excellent breakdown. Riding with Rider. That's where I'd be if I play that game. Let's get to the next one. This is a big one, Max. VCU, St. Bonaventure, your Bonnies. Baby, total 131. What do we got here in this game? What do you like here?
Do I have to talk about this game? Do I have to, Connor?
Give it to the beats.
Oh, man. Okay, so let's try and take the bias out of this for me for just about 30 seconds. VCU is a very good first half team. The numbers on all splits definitely support it. I think that as a first half dog on the money line, they have value. However, I am a Bonnies fan. This is the team that gives the Bonnies the biggest issue. So I'm not going to hate you or want to murder you because you're betting on VCU. It probably is the smart way to go. I just think that if St. Bonaventure can get off to a good start where they're not down double digits at halftime, they can go into the bench and they can get Koulibaly, they can get Quadri Adams, they can get Linton Brown some game time. But if they're playing catch up, then you're gonna have to roll your guys out for the whole game. And that's what Mark Schmidt and his team have had to do. It has been very problematic, and they burnt a lot of people's money.
Yeah.
That's why I'm just going to go with the numbers here. I think VCU first half money line is the right way to go. I've already bet the VCU St. Bonaventure first half over because this Bonaventure defense has not been good like last year. You have been able to score against them, and those closeouts without fouling that they were famous for the last 2 years, well, suddenly opponents are being able to score over that. So I'm rolling with VCU first half money line. I like the first half over. And I agree that we're going to see a clampdown of defense in the second half by VCU. That's going to impact St. Bonaventure's possible comeback ability. And with a total in the 130s, I like the under. So I begrudgingly am betting this game.
All sides.
And if I lose, I won't feel bad, Connor. I'll be like, I deserve it. I should have never bet anything that was going against my Bonnies.
Well, definitely in depth there. I loved it, Max. VMI, them early, St. Bonaventure late, over early, under late. I like it all.
Hey, listen. Look
like
through those box scores last night, Connor. You're going to see 20 games that were tails of two halves, scoring and side.
It is.
If we don't bet it like that, then we're literally just rolling the dice.
Bonaventure's defense has been leaky at times this year, but they struggle to score. VCU struggles to score. They have an elite defense. I'm on the under 131 here. And if you had to give me it, I'd take VCU in the 3 points. Bonaventure's could win at home. I just, at this point, I don't want to lay the 3. If you could have got, it was only, 1 last night, Max, when I looked at it? 1.5.
Yeah, 1.5.
So, yeah, not a 3. All righty, let's get to the next one. Shout out to the chat. Hit the like button. That's all we ask. Subscribe. And do us a favor if you do. Go on Twitter. Let everybody know me and Max are goddamn live. We're giving you freaking hopefully winners here. NCAA net profit. And let's roll, Max. Let's get to the next one. I always got to just shout that out a few times during the middle of the show. Akron, Kent State. Kent State's laying 1.5 here. Interesting game, total 133.5. It's just, this is kind of a toss-up here for me. Do you have anything here?
Yeah, listen, I think that this is a spot where it's under basketball. If Kent State's going to have their way, they do bring the better defense. I'm not falling in love with Akron's ATS record because that's in the past and that's not going to impact this game. What is going to impact this game is the health and availability of Giovanni Santiago. If his leg is good enough to go and he's a game-time decision, that will definitely give Kent State a elevated freaking guard presence. However, I do think that it is critical for Sincere Carey and Malik Jacobs to take this offense by the reins like they're riding a goddamn freaking Kentucky Derby winner and take it to the window. They got to freaking do a good job of boxing out, creating very limited second chance opportunities because Ali and Enrique Freeman are both very good rebounding forwards who do create those second chance scoring opportunities. I think that with Brian Trimble and Xavier Castaneda coming off a game where they combined for 48 points, I do think that we're due for some regression, and that's going to fall in favor of Kent State. At the end of the day, this is a game where I do think that the line is too high. I like the full game under, and I like Kent State.
All right. I'm not going to bet that one. I would too. If I, at home, laying the bucket there. But I'm not getting to the window of that one. No way. I did with this one, Max, last night. Davidson, Richmond. Richmond's favored by 1. Total now, like I said, 145.5. Some 146s. You mentioned in the line move. I bet this last night at 143. I thought it was low a little bit. I think even at 145, I might still have to give this out. There's 145s even. This has come back down. Like I said, 2 hours ago, there was 147s, like you mentioned as well. So this has come back down. Still think it gets over between these two teams. Can Richmond win at home? Davidson go on the road and win? What do you think here?
Yeah, listen, I think that Davidson's already proved to us that they can go out on the road and win a big game. Obviously, the Alabama game is the first game that comes to mind. I think with Richmond, though, this is where they are their most dangerous. This is where they are their most capable. However, the problem with them always remains in tight games. How many points are they going to leave at the free throw line, and is it going to impact their ability to win or lose the game? I think that with Davidson and their balance and the way that Foster Loiter can take over a game, I think that it's going to be key for him to be able to handle the ball and not succumb to the pressure of Jacob Gilliard. Let's remember that Gilliard is one of the best, if not the best, steal point guard in the nation, and he may be the all-time leader very soon, if not already. So I just think that with this game, it's going to be tight. There is going to be free throws. I do think that whoever's down late is going to extend the game, and no one's going to want to go down easy in this spot. So I do like the over. I do like Davidson with that high potent offense and that head and shoulders better defense. So Davidson all the way on the road, and give me the over because I do not want to be betting an under in this game. It could be Heartbreak City.
Yeah. So, and you're right, row your boat. The highest one left is BetMGM at 146.5. Most everywhere is 145, 145.5, or 146. All right, Max, let's get to the last two games here. I like these games a little bit. This one's finally, there was some 10s out there. Now I almost see none of them. Michigan, Illinois. Illinois is at home here. Total right around 144, depending on where you're at. What do you like here?
Listen, I think that I want to see points in the game. This is a game that in my mind, by my betting model, should be a 153 to 157 point output. I think that with Michigan, their biggest problem has been not being able to consistently score and not having the necessary depth to go to another option. I think that with Musa Diabite and frickin' Caleb Houston, that's very important for these two freshmen to be impact players tonight. They're going to have a good size advantage at a lot of times on the floor against Illinois. Illinois definitely is going to be able to go small with their guards when we look at it, but Kofi Coburn is the difference. What is going to impact this game the most, in my opinion, and what makes it hard to bet aside pregame is the fact that if Coburn picks up 2 fouls in the first half, we saw how this Illinois team changes when he's not in the lineup and he's not on the glass to freaking throw those outlet passes. I think that Illinois on the first half is the way to go. I do think that Michigan full game does have some value. So this is a tale of two halves in my mind, but the play that is going to get my money most likely is Illinois' team total and then the full game over.
Yeah, this is my only money. It's interesting, if I see, because I didn't pull the trigger on a few of the 10s I saw this morning. I just wasn't there, and there's not much left now, Max. I wanted double digits. I think it gets over. I mean, always in a conference game, it could be played tight and in the 60s, high 60s. But at 143.5 here, I think the full game over, or right around there, is a way to look here. All right, let's get to the last one. Fresno State, UNLV. Fresno State took in some money here. They're favored by 1.5. Rebels have looked good. They scored points, but they've played some crappy teams lately. Hopefully the Thomas and Mack will be rocking tonight because, man, it's a freaking ghost arena. That whole place holds 20,000, and man, when you only have about 3,000 or 4,000, it looks real bad in there, Max. So hopefully some fans show up there. Fresno, great defense. We saw UNLV an under team early on all year. Kruger's son, he's done a good job here. Kevin Kruger, Fresno State. This is a tough one. I think UNLV's got a little value at home. What do you think here? I like the under as well with Robinson. We've been on unders on Fresno games all year long. So what do you like here?
Yeah, I like the under as well, Connor. It's a high value target for me. sort of like a Ukrainian lady of the night at the strip club. When I know that she's down with the Grizz down and I can take her to a hotel, I'm gonna be on that like freaking peanut butter on a waffle, and that's a Sharpie favorite. I'll tell you this though, Connor, with UNLV, the most important element of their offense is their ability to freaking roll off those screens and get to the rim and get fouled. If they can convert some of those drives that they've been freaking making, especially over the last couple of games, they are going to win this game outright. I think that with the game against SDSU, we saw them play a very admirable effort while putting up 55 points. I do think that we get a similar scoring type effort tonight with less possessions. And I do think at the end of the day, UNLV with a healthy and a contributing Mike Nuga off the bench, it just gives Donovan Williams and Bryce Hamilton that necessary guard help when it comes to scoring. Royce Ham has got to be the difference up front. I think he will be. Give me a double-double from Royce. Give me some ham on a freaking piece of rye bread, and give me the goddamn UNLV team to fuck with their eyes open in Sin City.
Yeah, what Hamilton are we going to get? I mean, he was either just seems like he's so elite, Max, and then there's games he just doesn't even look like he's on a fucking team. I mean, he's as it goes. Yeah.
Sorry, his last game he was 5 for 17 from the field, so maybe we get a good game from him. Otherwise, just give it to Donovan Williams. He can put up an outlier.
That's true. He's played well for them. That one's an interesting one. We got a long time. I've been thinking about that one a lot. Obviously, the under. We already talked about that. But maybe UNLV as well for me. If I do, I'll put it out on Twitter. But that's it, Max. That is the show today. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Hit the like button. Always subscribe. Go on Twitter. Retweet. Tell everyone we're here Monday through Friday and Saturdays. We're here. Max every once in a while might make an appearance on a Saturday. He's a busy man in the morning. There's a shitload of games. But me and Babano will be here on Saturdays, hopefully, and we're gonna have some guests on sometimes. So check us out. 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 Eastern. Tomorrow, Saturday, huge slate. I will be up early, bright and early, Max, for happen these games. But let's get to it. Let's get to our bets. But first, let's get a word from the sponsors from the commercial. Yes, 7 a.m. Row your boat. Yeah. Oh, I love these guys. All right, shout out to everyone. If you're in the San Antonio area, go to Southtown 101. Get there, great food, booze, karaoke. Go to mybookie.ag at promo code PubSports. Transfer the Bitcoin. Put 1,000, you get 1,000 back. And go to manscaped.com. Get the Lawnmower 4.0, but get that whole kit and caboodle they got, the whole kit. Get everything that comes with it. And get Pub Sports Radio 20% off. Get the pub rub. Get it on your meat. Rub your meat. Get your meat rubbed down, seasoned with our pub rub. Get it 2 for $25. Pubsportsradio.com and cop our merch. I love our shirts there, so get them now. All right, Max, give them your best looks tonight, and tell the chat one last thing for everybody. A word for the chat for the week.
Well, first off, chat. There's a show on TV called SWAT. If someone makes fun of it, defend it with your life, and I'll tell you later why. For best bets, though, Connor, because I like to dip my chicken tenders in honey and not honey mustard, and I am still looking for a guy named Nicky Fish Tanks, I will give out my best bets for the show, and they are the first one is the one that you guys should all be proud of me. You should all be like, Max, you are showing growth right now. I'm taking VCU on the first half money line plus 120. Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I'm going to
Plus
hate
120.
myself. I may even whip myself later with my own belt, but I'm doing it. I'm doing it. And listen, Connor, because I'm going first, we're probably going to be on this game together, but that's okay. That's a validation. That's not a collaboration. That's just a validation. So shout out to Ian McMillan with his hate for collabs. And I will be taking UNLV under 130 in this game. I want under. I want ugly basketball. I don't even want to be watching this game. I want Connor to message me at freaking 1 a.m. Eastern, be like, Max, cash.
I will.
That's what I want. And for my third pick, I am going to go with I would call it a contrarian look, Akron and Kent State. I think it's under basketball. I'm taking the under 133.5 and pray for me. Please pray for me. I want to go 2-1 tonight. Please, I want to go 2-1.
I like it, Max. Shout out Renmos. Yeah, just hit the thumbs up for us. It's free content here. We're not selling you anything. We just want to like. We just want to subscribe. That's all we're looking for here at Pub Sports Radio.
And I just want you guys to dip your chicken tenders in honey and not honey mustard.
Yes, straight honey, baby. I like the choices, Max. And I'm probably going to be joining you on that under. I'll leave it at that. But you already took that game. So I'll go to the others. I'm on your under in that VCU game, though. I'm under it. 131. Under. It could go over. Hell if I know. But when I see these teams get together, Max, it just screams 60s type game and a rock fight. And I took it last night, and I'm glad it's come back down to 145 here. I mean, just like I was telling Max 3 hours ago, it was 147. I'm like, wow. So there's some buyback, but I took it at 143. I'm on the over in Davidson, Richmond. I took it 143, but I endorse it at 145 because you can get 145 out there right now. So take the over there. And I might have another play, Max. There was some real tight leans here. We talked about Manhattan catching points. The over in that game, I kind of like. The under in the Monmouth game is really interesting to me. I was close to pulling the trigger there with St. Peter's. So just a few more looks that I am on. Anything else, Max, for him out there Friday here?
Listen, I think that tomorrow there is going to be a lot of volatility. I nicknamed Saturday's Volatile Saturday. So don't be afraid to back those double-digit conference underdogs. And look for those freaking live betting spots. I think that we get a little bogged down with how many games start each hour during the day from 12 to 10 p.m. So set aside some of your bankroll and reserve it for live betting. You'll thank me because you watch the game, you get a feel, you do a little bit of freaking basic arithmetic, and you can figure out where you find and have value on a total or spread. Have a good time while you're doing it. Enjoy college basketball. And thank God we've gone through this rough patch of cancellations. We're on our way back to health. And we're on our way back to the strip club to support local strippers. Just never ask them for $5 worth of change.
Don't do that. Real quick, Max. I'll throw it out there because a normal day like this, we don't take questions. But Jake's probably late here. Buffalo -7. I know already what you're going to say, but let him know.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at Ball State. I will say this. Miran Thomas is not in the starting lineup. Mickey Pearson is starting for him. If he's out altogether, that's definitely going to impact Ball State's performance tonight.
Chris wants to know, Purdue, first half over. I'm guessing he's right in here.
Yes, sir.
All righty. That is it, Max. We're out of here. It's Friday. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. But let's have a day, Max. What a great week. Let's just keep rolling. College basketball is in full effect. And I want to see more people in here, more people retweeting, hitting the like, subscribe, and joining us. Like we said, just hit the button. It's free shit. Come join us. Pub Sports Radio, baby. He's the great Maxwell Smart. I'm Conor Mack. We're out, baby. We be pumping! Get that cash.